Let's talk Bitcoin. Are the bulls in control, or is this about to flip and turn bearish? My name is Nick, and today we are going to dive down into the charts to take a look at what has been going on most recently with Bitcoin. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. We do a lot more technical analysis down in Discord for our members, so why not go ahead and check it out? I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find there. Right, let's dive right down into Bitcoin here and see what's been going on most recently and what I think is actually likely to happen next as to whether or not we should be thinking bearish or bullish. So here we obviously have Bitcoin paired up with USDT. This is just the hourly chart, and we are using Binance as the data source, right? So here we can see that we are kind of stuck inside this triangular wedge, coiling up for something, okay? And I think it's important that we understand what this is because a lot of people are saying, oh, we're going down to 20K, 25K, whatever, right? But I think there's a few things that I think a lot of people are overlooking. And for that, I'm just going to quickly shoot on up actually into our daily view for a sec, just to kind of articulate this out a little bit, because it is one of those things where, in fact, I might actually go to the 8 hour because I think I've got it drawn on there. There we go. It's actually a little bit easier to see it when it's drawn like this than it is to necessarily understand structure of what things happen, what happens next, right? So essentially what we've got is 5 impulsive moves up, right? This takes us up to the $69,000. Okay. After this, we saw A, B, C correction. Okay. This A, B, C correction basically looks like it is completing a move, is completing the move at about 32.9, I think, 32,900, I think the low point was, approximately. Let me just check on here. I'm sure I've got it somewhere on this point. Let me find the right candle. Yeah, 32,917, right? So that's our low point just down here, okay? And this is followed by that ABC move, that corrective move. And that's really important to understand because corrections are short, they're not trend-based, okay? And impulsive moves, such as this one here, is a trend setter. It set the trend up. Okay, now we can articulate that there is 5 waves here as well. Okay, so we pulled down pretty sharply from the May 65K as well. Now, what so this is looking like is this looks like it's a bit of a bottom for Bitcoin, and what we want to see now is another 5 waves. Okay, so 5 waves up, 3 waves down. We want to see 5 waves up. Okay, we want a 5, 3, 5. Followed by a 3 and a 5, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking for from a structural point of view. And I really wanted to kind of just show you, the structure here as we move up and as we pull back down as to why I think this is more of some kind of flat, running flat correction on the weekly. But, ultimately when you break it down into these smaller time frames, you can kind of see the waves and the movements of the charts. Now, here we obviously set the lower, or higher low, I should say, than this one. Okay, and this is an important one because here we also have 5 moves up. Okay, and we actually do have 5 moves down, which is odd in itself. You'd expect this to be ABC. So we'll have to just kind of review what this might look like going further forward, because I was expecting that move there to be an ABC move, but it wasn't. Okay, so this kind of throws a little bit of the analysis away a tad, and therefore we want to be really cautious over this entire move right here. And then there's a couple of reasons for this. If I actually dive down into it for a sec, some of the I guess I kind of should point out the bearish scenario, right? Obviously I've just shown you the bullish one, which is 5 waves up. The bearish scenario is that this pattern here is a triangular pattern, and actually we're going down, right? And 21K, I think I did the video for it. I think it's possible, not probable, right? And the issue that I have with this is that if we actually take our measurements here, we have effectively got wave 1, wave 2, and I think we have, wave 3, 4, 5 just here. And then we follow bound by 5, and then we're following up with 3. Okay, so again, rather odd kind of pattern. Again, it's a 5, 5, 3 pattern. And this isn't necessarily something that you'd expect to see, right? Because for this to be a triangle, what you would expect would be, and one of the requirements for the Elliott wave triangle is an ABC move here. You'd have to have an ABC here, And then obviously we're in line, we have A, B, C, right? And then you would expect A, B, C, and then, you'd have that final A, B, C up here, right? And essentially what this is, if I remove all of those, is an A through E, right? You have wave A, wave B, wave C, wave D, wave E, and then you get a breakdown, usually in an impulsive move, coming down lower, right? And that takes you down to 21k. That's the theory. However, it doesn't necessarily stack up again with Elliott wave because, like I said, these requirements are that this is an ABC move, not an impulsive move, and we actually have 5 waves up, 5 waves down, 3 waves up. And right now, the key thing that we're looking at specifically on our charts here is this level of invalidation. If we go higher than 42,600, in this next little move up, we actually invalidate the low points coming down here. And again, you're not following the same structure, the same pattern for an Elliott wave triangle. Okay, so yes, it's possibly some kind of triangular wedge, but it's not an Elliott wave triangle. It is still possible that we do break down from here. But again, it doesn't follow the standard practice of Elliott wave theory. In the same way that a lot of these impulsive moves and the motive moves are very, very short. They're not exactly what you would expect to see from a motive move either. So for the most part, we're going to have to kind of play around a little bit. Obviously, Elliott wave was never designed to be used with cryptocurrencies. It was derived from the Dow Jones, a highly liquid market. And obviously, cryptocurrencies are, they haven't got as much cash in them in terms of liquidity than the Dow Jones. So we do have to take some of the rules with a pinch of salt, but we should be following the main principles of unbreakable rules. But for the most part, there's no real requirement for the 5th wave. So we should kind of, at least I say that, there's no real hard and fast rule about the 5th waves. But, wave 4 cannot cross wave 4. So I'm applying the unbreakable rules, and then we're kind of, skating around a little bit on some of the be more relaxed, I guess, on some of the additional rules. But that being said, it doesn't quite fit the standard practice of an Elliott wave triangle. Okay, so knowing this, what do we have here? Well, we have the 5 waves up, and there's no real way of counting this as 3 waves down, so it's 5 waves down, which is odd. It should be ABC, but there's a move down here. Even if we actually throw it up onto our daily chart, you can see it's very clearly 5 waves down in the same way that it's 5 waves up. So you get a 553 by the looks of it, completing the move. And now I think we are potentially coming out of something else. And this could be a move because, again, this is a higher low. So it could be that we actually are tracking something like this with an ABC, and we move up slightly higher towards $43,000. Maybe that goes impulsive. Maybe we break out of this triangular wedge after the 553 move. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on this kind of chart here. Now, that's kind of your longer term kind of view. On the weekly chart, obviously we've still got good structure. You can kind of see all these kind of moves that have been plotted out. I will actually remove these off of here now, so you can keep it a little bit cleaner on our weekly chart. But essentially what we have is some kind of complex corrective move, and we are still targeting out well above $100,000. So for the most part, we're in a pretty good spot. Now the weekly stochastic RSI is moving far too fast, so I am expecting some kind of correction to occur on this weekly chart at some point to take that stochastic RSI down. It might be that we actually have to move up first to $47,500, which is another target that I have marked out, and then we pull back down from there. The monthly is already in the ground though, so whatever happens on the weekly, it will be short-lived, very similar to what I think happened back in March of 2020. I don't think it's going to be as severe as that drop, mind, but I think something is going to happen here where the stochastic RSI has moved far too fast to the upside, and then we drop down, and then we're off again. Okay, so I'm expecting something to that effect here, potentially. And it depends on how high we go as to how low we're going to drop afterwards. So again, we'll be watching that market really, really cautiously as this stochastic RSI raises up. Now, obviously, this weekly stochastic, it can be up in the overbought area for quite some time. It can get wiped out very, very fast, right? And likewise, we've seen this multiple times in 2021. So when we jump down into some of these smaller time frames, such as the 8-hour, we're oversold, right? But the daily, we're overbought. The 4-hourly, we oversold, and the hourly, we're actually heading up into the overbought area, right? So from a short-term perspective, we're expecting some volatility here on the hourly. We expect some kind of pullback to occur. And then we expect some kind of rally to the upside. And then after that, we would potentially be talking about midterm, seeing some kind of correction once we kind of hit those high 40s, and then I think, yeah, we might be revisiting some of those 30s again before we start to think about, really going up. So right now, I do think the bulls have control, but I think there's something building in the background that is basically going to actually see us move back down at some point with Bitcoin and pretty much the crypto space, as we kind of see some kind of corrections with the stochastic RSIs on the weekly chart. Too soon to know what kind of percentage drops that's going to be, because it can be a quick kind of flash in the pan of 20%. It could be, more severe, like 40 or 45, or even potentially even 50%, right? So we have to be quite cautious over that, and the timing as we approach that will be quite clear as to what the sentiment is like in the market. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.